Hey everybody, welcome to Gosher Prepping. I am Eric. I am glad you're here. I'm going to talk about today where to hide your stuff. Now this could be valuables, gold coins, all kinds of good stuff like that, but I'm even going to talk about prepping stuff too because, marauders, raiders, or even just good old-fashioned thieves maybe trying to come in and take your stuff. So where do you put it? 10 places, 10 things we're going to talk about anyway. And the first one is not your master bedroom. You do not want to hide stuff in there ever. I mean, if you have some junk jewelry you don't care about, sure. But that's the first place that thieves go to, if you didn't know. They love the master bedroom because, it's our easy place to put things. You put it down in this drawer here, etc. They'll go through everything. You can't even hide it in your master bedroom. Your master bedroom is not the place for it. Number two, you ready for this? Not inside books. You have those little books that look like a regular book and you pull it off the shelf and you open it up and it's a secret compartment. That's great. But even more so, you ready for this? Your regular books. When I was younger, back when we first got married with my wife, we would take like some certain books and hide. If we ever had like a $50 bill, 100, we'd put them in those books. But that's also a place they look because thieves know that's exactly where people put things. So books, also a big no-no. Third, you ready for this? A safe is not always safe. I mean, if you have a safe, first off, that is so ridiculously heavy and huge that they couldn't take it with them, yeah, maybe. And I'm going to say maybe too. We'll talk about that in a second. But most people don't usually have those big ones unless it's for like firearms, for example. But if you have like a safe that you keep extra money in, some jewelry, et cetera, it's nice and handheld, the thieves say thank you because it's nice and handheld. They will take it with them and then spend the next week or two trying to break it into it. They don't need to try to do it at your house. Now, if they go, a lot of times these safes will have it so you can bolt it to a wall. Thieves are like, thank you, because all they have to do is just cut that 2x4 and take the whole thing with them. A safe isn't, well, how about this, is not necessarily always safe. Safes are a good idea, but having a small safe out in the open, or even if you hide it, they're going to get it and off it goes. All right, so where do we hide stuff? The first thing is, you ready for this? This is a human nature thing. Notice our eyes are like this. I mean, I know some people like Picasso, their eyes are like down here and up here, but our eyes are like this. We like to see things in widescreen. We call this eye level. First off, never hide stuff at eye level or even a little bit below eye level. Even if you're like talking about hiding in the woods, eye level is where you're always, I'll hide behind this tree. You'll never see me. Yeah, you will get caught. But back like in World War II, people would hide up in the trees because it's something about always looking up, trying to find people is not comfortable. It's not something we do. So in your house, when you're hiding stuff, not at eye level. So I have my desk here. I'm not going to hide in that compartment. I'm not going to hide it on the fireplace over there. Eye level is what thieves look for, and even low stuff. They'll start going through things, finding stuff if you have it low. You need to have it high. I mean, some weird examples might be, let's say you have a chandelier that you actually can possibly hide some stuff in. Excellent spot. But it's not even simply just about being high, but also they have to work for it. Because understand that thieves, if we're talking about the thief part, not even like crap, it's the man, they will try to be in and out very quickly. And if you have it kind of up high, well, it kind of throws a wrench in that. And often they'll not even take the time to look for it, especially if it's like deep buried in some boxes in the attic, or even more so if it's like high up, they don't necessarily think about looking there. So not at eye level. Number 5, you do want to hide it in plain sight. This is why you see things like in dollar stores, you can get like a can of Campbell's soup, but it's not really a can of Campbell's soup, but you can open the top up and it's a little fake can. Not in plain sight. That's where the books come in too, because understand that they know about these books. They know about these cans. They know about all these little tricks. They may not be educated thieves, but they are street smart and street savvy. They know what to look for. If they're in the dollar store too, they shop there also. They're like, well, look at this can. We'll have to check that out next time we're stealing somebody's stuff from people's houses. So not in obviously, don't want to put it like where it's in plain sight like that, but you do want to put it in plain sight of areas they won't think about. For example, if you have like a utility closet, excellent place. Number one of the best places to hide stuff is a utility closet. They may go in the utility closet, but let's say you go to Home Depot and buy like one of those little plastic telephone boxes that basically has telephone wires coming in, then spreads it out and goes to your house. Even if your house doesn't have old phones anymore, buy one of those boxes. They're cheap. You can't just open it. Sometimes they have like a little hex nut that keeps it closed. Put some fake wires through the wall into the box and out below, and they'll go in there. They'll be like, oh, this is just utility stuff. There's actually people who have like old broken water heaters. I mean, I think a thief would know, wow, that's weird. They have 2 water heaters here. But anytime you have that, or even a fake utility box, like electrical box, if you put it on the wall, they'll say there's something weird about that because there's no cables there. You need to have some wires going in and out. So either way, you want it in plain sight, but you want it in a place they would never think about looking in. Like, for example, we have a wood stove. So during the summertime, maybe if I take the pipes out and I hide stuff in the pipes, that would be a possibility. I mean, take it out before wintertime. Could you imagine burning up all your cash? That would be horrible. And that's where we get into number 6, decoys. Decoys are the key. So let's say that you do have some money. Let's say you have, I'm just going to make this up, $10,000 hidden somewhere on the premises. What you do is you go to a place that's kind of hidden. Maybe you have a crappy old safe and you put $300 in that crappy old safe, and they take that safe or break in the safe, whatever, or in your desk, your like maybe the chest of drawers in your bedroom, and they find that $300. They're like, oh, I found their stash. All they had was $300, not realizing that there's $10,000 somewhere else. Decoys are fantastic, especially if you have like bigger safes or some of those little hidey cans or books that are fake. Put a little bit of money in there, and you want to make it so the thieves will basically be like, oh man, we hit their stash, but they didn't really have anything. Meanwhile, I'll talk about the good places to hide stuff. They won't even think about looking any further because remember, they want a quick in and out. It was not a very good job. Let's get out of here and take the $300 and head to McDonald's and get some burgers. So have decoys. Now, where do you hide stuff? Hidden panels. Now, if in your house, maybe you have a floorboard, maybe you actually keep like a dresser on top of a floorboard. Maybe the carpet comes up and the floorboard's loose. Perfect place because you can pull out of it. It's not easy to move a dresser out of the way. And by the way, if you have $10,000 hidden, that's not money you're going to have to get to very often anyway. But sometimes in the floorboards, you have enough room to even put a safe in there. I say that not for purposes of keeping thieves from getting it, but so that way if there's a fire, hopefully some of your money and jewels and stuff will survive in there. It's not a bad idea. Or maybe certain wall panels. If you actually have like the wood slat wall panels, you can pull it away. Anything where you literally know your house really well, it's those little idiosyncrasies. Maybe you actually have a broken panel. You can make it so it looks like it's part of there, but thieves don't have time to go check every part of the floor, every part of the wall, looking for those little panels. Those are the best ones, by the way. Have those places where literally you can stuff things in walls, etc., or in old furniture. You want to make it so it's not very obvious at all. Or you can simply, number 8, do it like they've been doing it for years and just bury the stuff outside. I always say, especially with money, put it in some type of waterproof container. Getting like go to Walmart and get a food grade bucket. Those are fantastic. I mean, you do have to dig a pretty big hole for that. And if you want extra security, then you can dig a hole, put it in there and plant a bush or something on top of it. That's really long-term storage there. But it is a way to keep people from getting whatever that stash might be. People used to do it in cans. They used to take metal cans and wrap it up and then put it in a plastic bag and then bury it. People still today will go on a property and dig a hole and find these cans full of like money from the early 1900s, for example. Fantastic. Number 9, you need to hide it in numerous spots. Diversify your hiding. So let's say that you do have an old broken panel in your house and you have 10,000. Put 1,000 in that panel. Let's say you have an old plastic can that has seal proof. Put 1,000 there and bury it under a bush. Maybe you have a piece in your floorboard underneath the carpet that's loose. Put some in there. And diversifying it actually works really well because even if for some reason a very motivated thief does come across one stash or maybe 2, well, he's only hit, combinations 2 out of 10. So 1/5 of all the stashes in your house. Fantastic. Diversify. And that's what we get into number 10 because we're not talking about just money. We're talking about food. We're talking about ammo. We're talking about things because understand if crap hits the fan and marauders come, they're going to be coming to your house and trying to find stuff. And of course, you're going to make that the best defense. But if they do get in, you don't want to make it so they get all your stash. So for example, in your basement, maybe you have 10 shelves full of food. Maybe you're a really good prepper and you have 10 shelves right now stocked full. It may not be the best place. Maybe you want to bury 9 shelves in the backyard and have one shelf just spread it out among all the shelves down there. It looks like you barely have anything. So if they break in, they'll be like, oh man, somebody hit you first or whatever the case may be. You still have 9 shelves worth of food hidden somewhere else. So prepping and preparedness is short-term, hiding your money and your jewels and all that good stuff, but also long-term too, and the same rules apply. So I'm not asking you to give away any good stuff as far as your house goes specifically, but tell me, what are some ideas that you have about hiding things? There's lots of good places for it. Put it in the comments below. We'd love to see it, and we'll see you next time.